No darker than this now, man. I don't know. Check this out. Welcome to the Trouble Wars podcast show. I'm your host, Shock. Yes, sir. Right back at you again, your Maryland Department Environmental Inspector. 0252 at your service. And like I always say, it's a shark in the bay. And when it's in the water, it's in the water. Got a good show for y'all tonight, man. Got a good show for y'all tonight. I told y'all, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button. And you'll get notified every time I go live. Man, I've been putting on the clinic. Really. We're giving y'all a masterpiece on how to keep records. Strapping down. Got a good show for y'all tonight. Real good show for y'all tonight. Last time I talked to y'all, I told y'all I'll be standing in Dixon. Right? What that means is Maryland is the last southern state going north, and the first southern state going south. And if you're living in the Fourth Circuit, you better know the law. Tonight I'm going to talk to y'all about my welfare revolt. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about my welfare revolt. So, let's get into the show, man. It's a good one. Yes, sir. Let's get into the show. Let's get into the show, man. Let's get into the show, man.
By common consensus, Dred Scott is the most infamous decision in Supreme Court history. Ironically, it also may be the most significant decision in Supreme Court history. Why? Because it almost destroyed the Union. Here's what happened. In 1846, Dred Scott, a slave, sued for his freedom. Scott had been born into slavery in Virginia, but during the 1830s, he traveled with his owner, John Emerson.
Hold on. Before we get to the Dred Scott, it's important that I give y'all some context to add to the content. Huh? Like every shop, I like a good school. I brought the notes. Let me see. Man, I brought the notes. Like every shop, I like a good school. Let's see. Where we gonna start off at? Alright, we're gonna do a quick recap. We're gonna go over 5 documents real quick. After we go over these five documents, we're gonna go over the criminal referral. We're gonna go over the Freedom of Information Act. We're gonna go over the sealed records. We're gonna go over the Maryland Insurance Administration response. And we're going to go over the Pennsylvania Insurance Administration response. And then you're going to know what I'm talking about when I say I'm standing on Dixie. And when you live in the Fourth Circuit, you better know the law. Let's get into the show, man. I didn't mean to start like that, but sometimes I just got to do what I got to do. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's do it, man. Let's get into it.
By common consensus, Dred Scott v. Sanford is the most infamous decision in Supreme Court history. Ironically, it also may be the significant decision in Supreme Court.
I just keep forgetting. I supposed to be on day out now for getting you the game. Okay. Let me give you the game. Give you the game. Okay. See what we looking at here. Like I told you, I'm giving you a master class on keeping records, man. You ain't gonna get this nowhere else. You ain't gonna get this nowhere else. You see this? It's the breach admitted to the Office of Civil Rights, man. You don't get this nowhere else, man. They got out there now. We don't get into that. And they got the burn bags out. We're gonna go over these documents real quick and then we're gonna get into the show. It's a good show. There you go right there. Right? You can read it yourself. Applying to the following agency for further action. There you go right there. Huh? You can read it yourself. Huh? You got a criminal referral. Huh? You wanna look at this document real quick. You go to Freedom of Information Act request. Right? Look at that. Okay. You want to look at that because all this is going to take you to the Dixie. All this is going to take you right to the Dixie. We're going to look at that. Then we're going to look at, what I tell you else we're going to look at? All the records see. I'm going to take a look at this document. Let's take a look at this. Same case number, closed for 3 years. I told you about a game they like to play, right? See, the thing about playing the game, the whole beauty of the game is playing the game by the rules. Right? That's the beauty of the game, playing the game by the rules. Because see, I don't care what you make the rules out to be, so long as you play that by. Because I'm going to beat you. All I want you to do, you can set with any rule you, as long as just play by. Yeah? So the record see. Okay, so let's go to see what HIPAA say real quick. We're gonna get into the show, y'all, but I got to get y'all up to speed. You ain't gonna get this no way. I told you I'm giving you a clinic and record keeping, man. Well, in the world where everything goes, this ain't no AI, man. This is me, this is my word. This ain't no AI, man. Ain't no AI found this. So here you go what HIPAA say about closed records and citizenry closing your records and all that. Y'all can check that out. You know, if you want to. Or you could Google it for real. You can Google all this stuff if yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go with Maryland. This is the Maryland Insurance Administration. Let's see what the Maryland Insurance Administration. Remember I told y'all I'm standing on the Dixie. This is the Maryland Insurance Administration right here. Now, what affiliation they will have with their offices being in Pennsylvania, man, is quite a quandary, if you will, if you ask me. Yeah, I'm in a bit of a quandary, if you will, but not really. So that's Maryland. Maryland says federal. And let's go see what the Pennsylvania Insurance Administration says. Let's look at the Department of Ed. This is my word conversation. There you go. There's a proof of coverage and all that right there. And we're going to take a look at what the Pennsylvania Insurance Administration said. You can look at this. This is the Pennsylvania Insurance Department. You're seeing the Maryland Insurance Department, right? So I'm going to tell you I'm standing on the Dixie. I'm standing on the Dixie. It's a shark in the bay. And when it's in the water, it's in the water, man. Yeah. So when it's in the water, it's in the water. But, yeah, let me get y'all back to the show, man. Let me get you back to the show. I'm sorry, man. I'm a little tired, so y'all got to bear with the boy tonight. But I'm gonna give you a good show. Just give me a little bit, man. There we go. Give me a second. I'll get y'all back up and running, though. So we can get to what I'm telling you about. I'm standing on the Dixie. Let's go.
As common consensus, Dred Scott v. Sanford is the most infamous decision in Supreme Court.
It also may be the most significant decision in Supreme Court history. Why? Because it almost destroyed the Union. Here's what happened. In 1846, Dred Scott, a slave, sued for his freedom. Scott had been born into slavery in Virginia, but during the 1830s, he traveled with his owner, John Emerson, an Army doctor, to the Wisconsin Territory, both of which had banned slavery. When Emerson died in 1843, his widow, Irene Sanford, inherited Scott. In 1846, Scott sought to buy his freedom from Sanford, offering her $300. She refused. Scott then took the legal system, filing a lawsuit against her in a St. Louis, Missouri court. He had a strong case. It was not uncommon for slaves to claim that once they entered a free state, they were free, and Missouri courts were sympathetic to these claims. Over the next 8 years, however, Scott endured a legal roller coaster, first losing his case, then winning, then losing again. His appeal reached the Supreme Court in February 1856. Chief Justice Roger Taney immediately grasped its importance. Here was a case, Taney reasoned, that could settle once and for all the vexing issue of slavery and its role in America's future. To understand Taney's thinking, we need a bit of historical context. As the nation expanded in the early and mid-19th century, new states, the slavery issue became more and more contentious. In 1820 and then again in 1850, Congress passed 2 bills to diffuse the growing conflict, respectively known as the Missouri Compromise and the Compromise of 1850. Both laws divided the country into free states and slave states. Although these laws kept the nation at peace, they failed to address the fundamental issue. Did blacks have the same rights as whites? Taney believed he had the answer. On March 6, 1857, the court announced its decision. By a 7-2 vote, it ruled that blacks did not have the same right as whites and therefore could be treated as property, no different than any other kind of property. And as property, they were not and could never be citizens. And if they were not citizens, they had no standing in any court. Taney believed that the writers of the Constitution saw blacks as beings of an inferior order, altogether unfit to participate in government, and that whatever privileges they enjoyed were granted to them by the generosity of the superior white race. But what about the most famous phrase in the Declaration of Independence, that all men are created equal? Didn't that undercut Taney's argument? Taney contended the founders never seriously considered the idea of human equality to apply to Africans, ignoring the fact that men like John Adams and Alexander Hamilton were furiously opposed to slavery. Ironically, slavery wasn't the key issue for Taney. Even though he was a lifelong Democrat, raised in a slaveholding family, and once owned slaves himself, he thought of slavery primarily in constitutional terms. It was permitted in that document, therefore, in his opinion, it was legitimate. Dred Scott predictably pleased Southerners and outraged Northerners. Former Congressman Abraham Lincoln was so incensed by the decision that it emboldened him to return to politics to oppose it. Anti-slavery activist Frederick Douglass declared, "All that is merciful and just on earth and in heaven will despise this edict of Taney." That's newly elected Democratic President James Buchanan saw it, however. This was the decision he wanted. He even worked behind the scenes to make his view the executive and legislative branches had long recognized as a legally sanctioned institution. Now the judicial branch joined them in the same conclusion. Slavery was here to stay. But events would prove otherwise. As Lincoln predicted in a speech in 1858, a house divided against itself cannot stand. Scott solidified that division. If civil war wasn't inevitable before Taney's ruling, it was after. This is one of the many reasons historians consider the decision as the low point in the court's 230-year history. As for Dred Scott himself, his story had a happier, if short-lived, end. His owner freed him after the court decided his case. He died a year and a half later. Every American slave would be freed by the Fifth Amendment, ratified in December 1865, and made a citizen by the 14th Amendment in 1868. But not before the North prevailed in a brutal civil war that Dred Scott v. Sanford helped to provoke. I'm Janice Rogers Brown, former Associate Justice of the California Supreme Court.
Yeah, so there you got it, man. You got one of them saying we ain't got jurisdiction, and you got the other one saying it's federal, right? So that's what standing on the Dixie be all about around here. So you better know the law when you're in the Fourth Circuit. These people ain't never had me fooled, not for 1 second, not for 1 minute. Never had me fooled. They use all kinds of clever tactics and tricks to deceive you and rob you out of your generational wealth. That is their intention. This is a welfare revolt, man. I ain't with none of this. I don't want the Section 8. I don't want the food stamps. I don't want, what else comes with this? The waiting in the lines. I don't want nothing that comes with this, man. You know, a life with Social Security, man, is a life waiting in line. Man, they gonna AI you, they gonna speed up a faster way for you to get nothing. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I feel sorry for the people that's out there working and gonna have to like retire when they keep on jacking that John up and down like man. You don't want no parts of this, man. You do not want no parts of this, man. This straight up communism. Hey, fine, yeah. Socialism, communism, I don't care how you want to flip it and bounce it with the gymnastics demonstration, man. You don't want the government in charge of your existence, man. You do not want the government in charge of your existence, man. This is a welfare revolt, man. I don't want none of this shit. I want what I paid for. Then I'm a capitalist. I'm not this strong. These people know I'm not this strong, man. I'm not this strong, man. You can't even have no girl or none of that, man. You don't have no Section 8 man if she can't have no husband. If she get married, they're gonna put you out on that like in there. Mm-hmm. I can't do that. You can't have no girl and all that, man. I'm not that strong, man. I'm not that strong. Man got no limitation. You ain't people on knowing that like that there. So yeah, man. You don't want no parts of this, man. Even if you out there working, man, better not be no sir. We do not let government be in charge of your existence, man. Despise the free meal. Let me get back to the show, man. Well, though, man. Crazy. I ain't even gonna hold you. Yeah, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. We got this despise a free nigga. Man, every chance you get to deal with this situation like this here, man, it's degrading, man. Like they know it's degrading, man. All the way back when you got and all that, you gotta tell people and all that like that day you on welfare so you could get some milk. I don't want no sugar in my milk. I don't want no sugar in my milk. Oh, yeah. Being on Social Security and disability and all that like that, man, you gotta be out your cotton picking. No, man, I got the W-2s, man. I paid into the system, man. Them people gotta give me what they owe me. I ain't going nowhere near. Nope. This Governor Martin O'Malley right here and give all this junk. Check this out. Check this out, man. Y'all remember? Y'all remember O'Malley, man. No, y'all remember that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, one of the benefits of having other committee obligations and arriving at oversight committee behind my colleagues is that I get all the testimony. Mr. Chairman, this is Social Security for 1 hour, 28 minutes, 20 seconds. Phone number 800-772-1212. It's a number for Social Security. This is what our elders have to listen to. These are our elders, my man.
Yes, sir.
The reason they're calling, when I have a question for you, I'll ask it. That's the way this works. The reason our elders call for help is because they need help. Not because they want to listen to elevator music. They want to talk to a human being. The first 5 minutes of this on hold for an hour and a half, Mr. Chairman, was instructions to get to various websites, which our elders have difficulty doing. I have difficulty doing it. Elders frequently confused, alone, scared. They don't have like laptop and apps and things. They have a telephone. They want to talk to you. But wait, they have a local Social Security office they could go to, right? That's a historical model. No, I'll give you Exhibit B. This is from your website, or was, before you ran for DNC in November, after negotiating this deal that you think ties the hands of becoming executive. We're going to defeat that in Article 3. I'll go and get into that in a minute. But from the website, listen to this, America. Pay attention to what's happening to our elders. If you need in-person help, you make an appointment. You know how you make the appointment? On the telephone. You know who answers the phone? Nobody. This is a great Social Security Administration. All of our offices, we struggle and work hard to care for our elders, and the number one complaint is that they can't get any answers or even at Social Security. So I want you to know, Governor O'Malley, that I completely support for DNC chair. You have a certain air of elitist superiority that perfectly reflects your party, and I completely run. I hope you get it. Earlier in your testimony, you stated the contract you signed that presumes to the executive branch and the federal government through 2029 to hail it. In CNN as Social Security Union secures telework deal. And it said the deal will secure telework for SSA employees through 2029. That's a union guy to CNN. You said it doesn't tie the hands of the incoming administration. I happen to agree with you, Governor, but that's because the founders were wise enough to hide the powers of our government. And we're going to defeat the contract you signed, Article 3. Watch us do it. But in the terms of the contract, it states in the language in Article 41, Section 3, strikes the words that the commissioner will determine the number of scheduled telework, if any, eligible positions and percentages of employees permitted to telework, and replaces it with commissioner will adhere to the current number of telework days, eligible positions, and percentages of employees permitted to work telework as of the date of this agreement until October 25th, 2029. But by some measure, you say, yeah, that doesn't tie the hands of the incoming administration. That was your testimony about an hour and a half ago before I got on hold with Social Security. That never answered. So let me just say, man to man, brother, I respect you. You're standing your ground. You're here today on the fire. You know it. And I appreciate that. So man to man, you and I could probably get along pretty good. But it's a mischaracterization of our position, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ranking Member, to say that we have the Republican conservatives and fiscal hawks have a problem with the federal employees. We have a problem with federal employees failing to perform. And we associate the failure to perform with realities that we face. You want to talk to us in person, get an appointment. You want to get an appointment, make a phone call, we don't answer the phone. That failure to perform is the issue, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ranking Member. That's our issue with the federal government employees. And we associate it with showing up for work through telework. So let me say that those federal employees that do not show up for work, they're going to get fired.
Mr. Chairman, I would
How you?
Chair.
Yeah, man. So, Governor, man, had all that going on like that there, man, when I took ill too, you feel me? Yeah, the people not going to work and telemarketing from home and all that like that there. So, really getting too much done with O'Malley. Is he part of that whole demonstration too, man? They want to put you on welfare and all that, want to give you everything, don't give you nothing. Huh? Want to give you everything and don't want to give you nothing. And don't want everybody else to have all that with the nothing is. You feel me? Like they want everybody to have some of the nothing. When it ain't been nothing first to last, man, let's meet with that, man. It's a welfare revolt, man. Now they gonna have to give me mine, man. I don't know what they're talking about, man. I pledge allegiance to the flag, man, of the United States of the Republic for which it stands. No, man, I'm a Catholic. Mm-hmm. I paid insurance, man. We don't want to play that game like that. I don't play that game like that, man. I ain't playing that game with them. And then you got this here. Let me share this with y'all before I go into my next segment. I go into my next segment, I gotta give y'all this. No. Oh yeah. Dude right here. Got this going on, man. Got this craziness up.
You guys today.
Okay, so you got them up there with the foolishness, the shenanigans. So you know they came right back at them with this demonstration right here. They came right back at them with this. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, y'all see how we talk. You see what you up against, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, like for real, man. But I'm gonna ready to go into my next segment. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I'm gonna get into I want to get into our crime is down segment. You know, I gotta go into the crime is down segment for sure. So we're gonna touch on the crime is down segment before I get up out of here. Let me touch on the crime is down segment real quick, man. You know, Booker said he gonna stand up for the police and all that. Let's just touch on the crime is down segment.
Police officer accused of rape.
That's how. Yes. Okay.
The suspended city officer identified as Curlin Edwards remains in.
That's Absolutely.
A Baltimore City police officer accused
Yeah.
of raping a teenage girl has been indicted by a grand jury. Fox 45's Alexa Asheville joins in the studio with what happened in court today, including some reaction from the officer's attorney.
Yes, Mary. The suspended city officer identified as Curlin Edwards remained in custody as this case now moves to Baltimore City Circuit Court. The 34-year-old, 2.5-year veteran of the department is facing several felony charges, including first-degree rape. According to court documents, Edwards is accused of raping, assaulting, and unlawfully detaining a 16-year-old girl last month. In the statement of charges, Edwards admitted to engaging in a sexual relationship with the teen, and during a confrontation admitted to grabbing his unloaded duty weapon and telling her to shoot him because he deserved it. During a preliminary hearing this morning, Curlin's defense attorney said he intends to argue the sexual encounter in question was consensual. Just weeks ago, Mayor Brandon Scott questioned on these accusations against a city officer who remains suspended without pay.
Anytime anybody
Oh man, boy with the bush again.
sexual
Man,
assault,
you
rape,
cut it
anybody
all out
stresses
with
their
the
mind
bush.
is
All
huge.
that.
Someone whose job is to do that
exactly
exactly to remove them from the streets themselves, it makes it even worse. And this is just unacceptable. And to have the most stringent penalty possible placed upon this person if we're able to get a conviction.
Cut the crap.
Now that this case has moved up to circuit court, Curlin's attorney has filed a motion requesting an additional bail review that's currently pending.
I bet you he got cases already and all like that there. Let's go. It's going down in our crime is down segment. This was going down in the crime is down segment, man. The guy with the bush, he mad. And it's just going. He said the crime is down, so let's just jump right into it, man. He said crime. That's what he told me. He said crime is down. I'm gonna jump right into it. That's what he said. He said crime is down. Just the crime is down.
Police need your help to identify this armed robbery suspect. The person was caught on West Baltimore gas station.
Fox 45's Rebecca spoke with a gas station employee who claims it all started over a stolen snack.
Mary and Kai, this Exxon employee, he tells me this $1 snack was at the center of this shooting. He says shootings happen here daily, but this time it almost turned deadly.
It happens all day.
Inside the Exxon gas station on West Mulberry Street, employees say shoplifting never seems to stop, especially when students are out on summer break.
That's the only reason why they come to the store, to steal.
But this Monday, around 9:30 p.m., a minor crime taking a terrifying turn.
Young kid came in the store, got caught stealing, got caught in the act.
Surveillance video shows the suspect holding what appears to be an armful of stolen snacks. He turns to leave the store, but then comes back brandishing a gun.
We tried to go after, and when we
Please
went
don't
after
be
him,
ready,
he
no. You
turned
never
around.
go after him, man. Please do not go
Shoot.
after him. I mean, he was stealing the baby, but you damn sure would go after him for one, too. You
It don't make sense.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really don't.
Thankfully, workers were able to duck for cover, and no one was injured, though one bullet struck and dented a microwave behind the counter.
$1.
Look at that.
This employee arguing the incident deaths were growing problem.
They gotta put a certain amount in the box every day. They out of control.
As for this suspect, police have yet to identify him or confirm his age and are asking your help in tracking him down, hopefully before he can strike again.
They do it for the clout, just to say they did it. They got futures, but the way they going now, they might not even see it.
And anyone with any information on this case is asked to call police, or if you would prefer to remain anonymous, you can always call Metro. Their contact information can be found in this story on our website at foxbaltimore.com. Reporting live in West.
They said the crime's down, so that's that's the crime is down segment. Crime is down. That's what they said. And they said the crime was down. But I beg it different. It seemed like he said the brother said all everybody want to do is steal. Everybody want to do is steal. That's all they want to do. Y'all think the Lord finally knew this was going
Bill's office.
Fox 25's Rebecca Pryor details where the money went and why it's raising red flags. Rebecca?
Yeah, investigators found that the office spent but couldn't justify spending more than $1 million on promotions and marketing. And now a state ethics board is taking a closer look. When imagining the work done inside a public agency, handling bills and estates, most people think paperwork and probate, not manicure kits and media deals. But a new state audit paints a troubling picture of how Baltimore's Register of Wills is spending your tax dollars. Investigators finding the office paid more than $1 million on media and promotion, including $200,000 on an informational television show that was never aired, and $1,300 on 500 manicure sets, branded with the office's slogan, "Where there's a will, there's a way." For comparison, auditors looking at 3 similarly sized Register of Wills. One spending nothing on promotions, another $350 on pens, and a third $2,500 on pens, calendars, and other items.
Apparently, this audit was long overdue.
Taxpayer advocate David Williams weighing in.
This shows that even the most benign agency can waste money and have problems.
Williams noting auditors found for the spending and suspect in some cases the city's competitive bid verdict.
There could be corruption tied to this. People need to see who the vendors are, where the money went, if there are any ties within the Register of Wills to make sure that someone in this agency hasn't been profiting off of this.
The audit also raising concerns over employee oversight, finding evidence one employee was repeatedly absent from work and another accidentally paid $5,000 after they left the job.
This can't go unanswered. There has to be responsibility. And really, it starts at the top.
In a letter, the city's Register of Linda Conaway, a longtime city official, claiming each of the allegations substantiated, but adding the recommendations are appreciated and will be taken into consideration. In response, auditors stressing their findings are backed by facts.
You can't spend $1 million on promotion and $200,000 on a TV show and not have some repercussions.
While no legal action is being taken, auditors did refer some findings to the state's Ethics Commission. Also up for re-election next year. Williams warning excessive spending could soon cost her at the ballot box.
I think this is going to weigh heavily on voters as they decide the next Register of Wills.
Now today I reached out to Conaway.
What? That's what's going on. Crime is down segment, man. That's what's going down in Baltimore. I just wanted to pop on in and give y'all that information again. Hopefully I can get an attorney. Somebody see my paperwork. Go fund me on the screen too if y'all want help. You know. Yeah, I might have something more good for y'all coming in. We're gonna go over some stuff. I think y'all think Kaiser is some type of pretty fancy name or something. I think y'all need to find out who Kaiser is. You know, you think that's some type of cute name. No, that's somebody, I told y'all, right? And I don't know, if I do that, I'll probably go back and touch on them doctors a little bit, touch them up, let y'all see what they look like. Hopefully ain't none of them yours. ain't taking care of your baby or nothing like that there, you heard? So put on your notifications, subscribe to the channel, and probably do something early tomorrow. I don't know which way I'm gonna go, but a lot of content. Thanks for coming out, checking me out. Talk to y'all tomorrow.